Please face the clerk and raise your right hand.
Sir, you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give to this court and this jury will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Thank you.
Have a seat, sir.
Morning, sir.
Morning.
State your full name.
Edward Thomas Brennan, Jr.
Okay, can you spell your last name?
Brennan.
And where do you work, sir?
Enterprise Rent-A-Car.
And how long you been with Enterprise Rental Car?
A little over 3 years.
And you have appeared today in response to a subpoena to bring particular records, is that right?
Yes.
And those records are on behalf of Enterprise?
Yes.
Okay, approach on. Me. I'm going to show you two sets of documents. The first one, do you recognize this?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Let me just, second page, you recognize this attestation?
That is my signature.
Okay. Did you attest to these records?
I did.
And did you attest that they were records maintained by Enterprise Rent-A-Car, made in good faith in the regular course of business for the beginning of the criminal proceeding, which they were offered, and then it was the regular course of business to make such records at the time of transaction or within a reasonable time thereafter? Is that right?
That is correct.
And I'm going to show you the second document. Do you recognize this?
Yes, I do.
Is that a similar attestation?
Yes, it is.
Is that the records attached were made in good faith in the ordinary course of business, the regular course of business, before the beginning of the criminal proceeding, which they were offered, and it was the regular course of the business to make such record at the time of that act, transaction, or event, or within a reasonable time thereafter?
Yes.
And I'd offer these exhibit.
Your Honor, may we be heard at sidebar as to one item in the
It is 88 and 89.
Thank you. And sir, just directing your attention back to June 17, 2013, were you working on that date?
Yes, I was.
And sometime, well, where were you working at that time?
TF Green Airport.
And what were the hours you were working?
2:30 p.m. to 12:30 a.m.
Okay. Sometime in the evening, approximately 9 to 9:30 p.m., yes or no, did you receive a phone call from somebody?
I did.
And did a person identify themselves to you?
Yes.
Who was that?
Trooper Eric Benson.
Okay. And do you know how long you spoke with him?
Just a few moments.
Okay. And just yes or no, did you provide any information?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. That's all I have.
Brennan.
Good morning.
Sir, I didn't catch, what is your position at Enterprise Rental Car?
Currently, I'm the assistant manager at Enterprise Rent-A-Car.
And you've been doing that for 3 years?
That is correct.
Now, Enterprise Rental Car is part of a larger company called Enterprise Holdings. Is that true?
Yes.
And your company was founded in the late 50s in St. Louis. Is that true?
Yes.
And the fellow who founded it, Mr. Taylor, had a business model that differed from other rental car companies, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
And Mr. Taylor's business model was to place enterprise rental car facilities in the community, in the neighborhoods, as opposed to at airports.
Sustained.
Mr. Brennan, are you familiar with the systems that are maintained by Enterprise Rental Car?
Yes, I am.
Have you heard of the e-car system, the Enterprise Computerized Assisted Rental System?
Yes, I have.
Have you heard of the Odyssey system?
Yes, I have.
And e-cars is Enterprise's own system through which Enterprise manages its rentals and its inventory. Is that true?
Yes, it is.
And Odyssey is another system that Enterprise runs. And Odyssey was inherited through an acquisition of Alamo and National Rent-A-Car. Is that correct?
Sustained.
Are you familiar, sir, with whether or not Enterprise can run something called a renter ticket search on those systems?
Yes.
Have you yourself ever run a renter ticket search?
Yes, I have.
And also, sir, the way Enterprise does business, when it rents a car, it issues a contract, does it not, to the renter?
Yes, it does.
And are you familiar with the contract, the form of contracts that are used by Enterprise Rental Car?
Yes, I am.
Going back to the renter ticket search, could you just describe generally, sir, what type of information that search produces?
The search will produce, depending on the information given, I'm able to see the name of the renter, the dates the renter took the vehicle out, the time, the type of vehicle that was rented by that person.
And does it also show the location where the vehicle was initially rented?
Yes, it does.
And does it also show the location to which the vehicle was returned?
Yes.
May I approach, Your Honor?
You may.
Sir, I'm going to show you a document which bears on the masthead renter ticket search and ask you to look at those 3 pages if you would, sir.
Good.
Thank you. You had a chance to look at it?
Yep.
And
Just ask you to really try to keep your voice way up.
I apologize. Yep.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Brown. And do you recognize that, sir, as the results of a renter ticket search that you just described?
Yes.
For convenience, these are screenshots of individual screens, aren't they?
Yes.
But the data for a particular rental transaction continues across into the other pages, does it not?
Yes.
So for convenience, I've put those pages together, and I just want to show you this document, sir. Just ask you to look at it. And tell me if that accurately portrays the flow of data across.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you, sir. And could you tell me who's the renter on that rental ticket search that is in front of you?
Objection. These are not in evidence, right?
Not yet.
Objection sustained.
On the document you have in front of you, Mr. Brennan, you recognize that to be the results, I think we said, of a renter ticket search conducted by Enterprise?
Yes.
And is that data maintained by Enterprise in good faith, maintained in the regular course of business in the systems that we described earlier?
I'm just objecting generically the form of it, but not the information contained therein.
But the form of the proposed exhibit?
Yes, Your Honor, I don't think
I'll
that's...
see counsel with the proposed exhibit.
Brennan, I believe I was showing you this spreadsheet of results of the renter ticket search. And I was asking you if that reflects data that is maintained by Enterprise Rental Car in the ordinary course of business.
Yes.
And is it maintained in good faith by the company?
Yes.
And is the data in there reflective of the times and dates when the rental transactions occurred prior to this case being brought?
Yes, it does.
Thank you. I'd offer it, Your Honor, as an
Objections overruled.
Exhibit 90.
I use the display, Your Honor.
You should go in front.
Sorry. Sir, is that legible?
Barely.
This is autofocus, right? Is that better, sir?
Same thing. I mean, I can read it. It's just it's a little blurry over
The
here.
clerk's going to focus, of course.
Yeah, Mr. Baldwin, apparently knows what a button is.
Thank you. Is that better, Cliff?
Yes, it is.
Very good. And I won't keep you long. I just wanted to identify some of the information on this without getting into the substance of it, just simply deciphering it for the jury. Because isn't it true, sir, there are a lot of codes and abbreviations used in this document?
Yes, there are.
So on the left-hand side, under brand, we have enterprise, which would indicate the origin of the rental transaction.
Yes.
And then we have a column called rental branch 4912. Do you know what branch 4912 is?
Yes, I do.
What branch is that, sir?
That'd be North Attleboro.
And as we move across, it says return branch. Do you see that, sir?
Yep.
And again, a code number indicating where the car was returned.
Yep.
And there's a ticket number. What is that?
The ticket number is how we're able to decipher. Every time you rent a car, the rental contract prints out a new ticket number that corresponds with each rental vehicle.
Very well. And the next column is pickup date. That's the date when the customer obtains the car?
Yes.
And return date, what does that mean, sir?
That is the day that the vehicle is returned.
The next column is return time.
Just the time that we check in the vehicle when the customer returns the car.
And the next column is driver license. Is that the driver's license number of the renter?
That it is.
Driver's license state, and then renter's first name
Yep, that is Shayana
and renter's last name.
Jenkins.
There's a column DOB. What does that stand for, sir?
Stands for date of birth.
And then street address under renter information.
Yep, that shows 9 Messenger Street.
And the next column is Plainville, Plainville.
Yep. Yep.
If we move down, sir, now just moving further to the right, there's some vehicle information. And I wanted to direct you, can you see that all right, sir?
Yep.
I want to direct your attention to the vehicle date out. That's the same as the pickup date.
Yes.
And then vehicle date in, again, that's the same as the return date.
Yep.
The next column says make, and there are some abbreviations there. Can you tell me what that column is intended to display?
That is to show the make of the vehicle. So
And the next column is model, and there are some abbreviations there. What is that intended to?
that's to show the type of vehicle.
Finally, there are some additional columns, color of the vehicle rented, is that correct?
Yes.
And the plate number of the vehicle rented.
Yes.
Mr. Brennan, I'm going to show you another renter ticket search in the form which it was delivered. This 3-page document, if you could look at that, please. Thank you, Mr. Brennan. Having had a chance to review this document, do you recognize that as a renter ticket search that is conducted on the enterprise systems?
Yes.
And as with the other exhibit, does these 3 pages contain the information stored in the enterprise rental systems about various rental transactions for this renter?
Yes.
Now, again, for convenience, as we discussed last, I have taped these together so you could see them all in one picture. Could you just review that, sir, and let me know that it accurately reflects the information on the renter ticket search that I just showed you?
Yes, it does.
And again, the information in that renter ticket search in your hands, Mr. Brennan, that's maintained by Enterprise Rental Car?
Yes.
It's maintained in good faith?
Yep.
It's maintained in the regular course of business?
Yes.
And it was generated, or the information that is input into that system and maintained occurred prior to this trial, or prior to your appearance today?
Yes.
Your Honor, I'd offer it as an exhibit.
If I could just have a moment, Your Honor.
Counsel.
No objection, Your Honor.
Not to the next exhibit.
May I use the overhead, Your Honor?
Me.
Now, Mr. Brennan, I'm directing your attention to Exhibit 91, which is on the screen before you. Can you see it, sir?
Yes, I can.
And again, this format is similar to what you just described for the Exhibit 90, Ms. Jenkins' renter ticket search, is it not?
Repeat that, please.
This is the same presentation, the same information, same types of information, columns that were present on Exhibit 90 that you had just shown.
Yes.
So as we move across this document, again, the brand, the rental branch, and here we see this 4912 showing up as the renting branch or the renting station, but there are also some other codes there. For example, on the first line, there's a code ATL 61. You see that, sir?
Yes, I do.
And do you know what ATL 61 stands for?
Yes.
What is it?
That would be the Atlanta airport.
And similarly, beneath it, DFW, is that also an airport, sir?
It is.
And then moving again across, return branch, return station, ticket number, pickup date, return date, driver's license, as you described with Exhibit 90, driver's license state, and then the renter's name. And could you just tell us, for clarity on Exhibit 91, sir, the Enterprise renter ticket search showed the renter is in this document?
It says Aaron Hernandez.
And then moving again to the right, sir, there is a column that repeats, I believe, with a different title, vehicle date out. That would be the date the rental was commenced.
Yes.
Vehicle date in, the date the rental was ended.
Yes.
Make, again, Chevrolet, Chev, and then other makes as we go down this column.
Yep.
Model, I think you identified as a particular type of vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
Sir, are you familiar with the abbreviation here? There are so many abbreviations. I'd like to direct your attention to one. It's ALTI. Do you see that, sir?
Yes, I do.
And in the enterprise rental car system, under model, what does ALTI?
That would be Ultima.
Thank you. And do you see that occurring more than once in this record?
Yes.
How many times does it occur, sir?
I see it 4 times.
And those would be individualized rentals?
Yes.
Separate transactions is my question, sir. Separate transactions.
Yes, I just see 2 different types of Ultimas.
Very well. And then color, plate number, and so forth.
Yep.
Very well. Now, I asked you earlier, sir, if you were familiar with the contracts through which Enterprise Rental Car loans its cars out for a fee. And you said you were, is that right?
Yes.
I'm going to show you documents which I've previously shown the Commonwealth. And I'm going to ask you to just look through these documents and tell me if you recognize them, sir, as contracts from the Enterprise Rental Car Company.
Yes, these are the documents.
And are these documents, Mr. Brennan, these rental car contracts, are they generated in the ordinary course of business by Enterprise Rental Car?
Yes, they are.
And are they maintained in good faith by Enterprise Rental Car?
Yes.
And with the transactions and the data set forth in these contracts predating your appearance here today or this case?
Yes.
Your Honor, I'd offer this package as a series of exhibits.
No objection. And mark this next exhibit.
A through F.
Your Honor, may I publish 92
Yeah.
into relative jury?
You may.
Mr. Brennan, I'm placing before you on the screen Exhibit 92A. Can you see that legibly, sir?
Yes.
And I just wanted to perhaps ask you to just orient us a little bit about how to read this record from the Enterprise Rental Car Company. Can you tell me, sir, where the timeout would be located on this record?
Anyway, you can just bring it in a little bit.
I sure can.
That works. Okay, so in the upper left-hand corner,
Could you point with your finger, sir, and I'll try to replicate that?
the top left corner, I see 10/19/12 as the
Here.
date, and then 1:31 p.m. as the timeout.
And where would be the return date, sir?
As a return date down the bottom middle, I have 11/17/12 and 1:30 p.m.
Very good. And how do we know whose rental this is, sir?
Top middle, I see a name of Shauna Jenkins right there.
Very good. And is there, in this instance, is there a place where Enterprise tracks a second driver who may be listed on the contract?
Yep,
And could you point that out for us, please, sir?
just a little bit lower, I have here, I see Aaron Hernandez, right here.
You're pointing to this box here, sir?
Yes, I am.
Very good. And I'm going to put on Exhibit 92B. Look at that. That is the exhibit you just looked at, and just confirm for us that similar information, similar format is contained on 92B. That is the renter, the timeout, and those are in the same locations?
Yes.
Thank you. 92C, I'd ask the same question, sir. Is that format the same, where we would look to see the timeout, the renter, and the time in?
Yes.
And does the contracts, do they also indicate the make and model we discussed from the renter ticket search, which was exhibit 9091?
Yes, they do.
Could you point out on the rental contract where that is located, sir?
Top left corner under the date and timeout, I see a black, says MALI, which is a Chevy Malibu, and it shows the license plate number in the top right corner, and below that the enterprise unit number of the vehicle.
Now, I noticed, sir, that this document, the 92C, has some additional information down in the lower left-hand corner under the box that's labeled replacement vehicle. Do you see that, sir?
I do.
And could you just explain what is that box used for? What is a replacement vehicle?
A replacement vehicle is when a customer switches out of the original vehicle and they need to get into a secondary vehicle. That is where we put in the secondary information for the second car.
Thank you. And does Exhibit 92C have information about a secondary car?
Yes, it does.
And could you just point where that's located for the jury, and I'll try to replicate that.
Yep.
Pointing in the right place?
Yes, you are.
Thank you. Exhibit 92D, another rental transaction, same format as what you described before, sir?
Yes.
Exhibit 92E, again, same format as you described before, sir?
Yes, it is.
Exhibit 92F. An enterprise contract?
Yep,
Same
yep.
format and information? Thank you, sir. Enterprise contract, this is Exhibit 92G. Again, the same format?
Yes, it is.
Exhibit 92H.
Yep.
Same format, sir? Yes. Just got to wait for my question, I know.
Apologize. Yes, it is.
Thank you. Exhibit 92I. Same format? Enterprise rental contract?
Yes, it is.
Exhibit 92J. Same format, enterprise rental contract?
Yes.
Exhibit 92K. Same format?
Yes.
Exhibit 92L. Same format?
Yes.
Mr. Brennan, I'm going to show you some additional enterprise rental contracts. I'm going to ask you to look at them and see if you recognize this document as a record of the enterprise rental car company. be a duplicate there. Let me just, on those last two. They are duplicates. Thank you, Mr. Brennan. Do you recognize those as contracts issued and maintained by the Enterprise Rental Car Company?
Yes, I do.
And are these contracts maintained in good faith by Enterprise Rental Car once the transaction is completed?
Yes.
And are they maintained in the regular course of business?
Yes.
And were these records maintained prior to your appearance here today or the commencement of this trial?
Yes.
Your Honor, I'd offer them.
Objection, Your Honor.
No objection. They may be marked as next exhibit.
A through N.
Thank you. May I publish to the jury, Your Honor? Brendan, I'm placing on the screen Exhibit 93A, and I would ask you, just simply, as we have before, sir, you recognize that as a enterprise rental car contract in the same format as you have described to the jury before?
Yes.
And, could you identify in this contract, sir, who the renter is?
Aaron Hernandez.
You put Exhibit 93B before you, sir. That's a contract for another rental transaction, is that correct?
Yes.
And it's a contract maintained by Enterprise Rental Car in the same format as you described before?
Yes.
$93C, another enterprise transaction, sir. Does that contract present in the same format as what you have described before?
Yes.
$93D, another enterprise rental contract. Again, does that present information in the same format that you have described before, Mr. Brennan?
Yes.
93E, Enterprise rental contract, does that present in the same format another transaction?
Yes.
93F, does that document present another rental car transaction in the same format and contract?
Yes.
93G, does that contract of another transaction present the information in the format you have described before?
Yes.
93H, does that contract present in the same format you have described before, another transaction?
Yes.
93I, again, does that contract from Enterprise present the information of another transaction in the same format?
Yes.
93J, does that contract present another example or another transaction in the same format you have described?
Yes.
93K, does that contract convey another transaction in the same format of a contract you have described before?
Yes.
93L, does that document represent contract for another transaction in the format you have described before?
Yes.
93M, does that contract convey information about another transaction in the format you have described before?
Yes.
93N, does that contract represent another transaction and convey information in the same format you have described before?
Yes.
Mr. Brennan, you appeared here pursuant to a subpoena issued by the Commonwealth, is that right?
Yes.
And that subpoena and your production under the subpoena has been marked as Exhibit 88. May I show, Your Honor?
Me.
Is that correct?
Yes.
How many transactions were requested by the Commonwealth through their subpoena to Enterprise Rental Car, Mr. Brennan?
Looks like 3 separate transactions.
And when were those transactions?
I apologize, I have two different transactions in here, looks like 2 rental contracts for 6/10 to 6/19.
Very well. I'm going to show you Exhibit 92. And can you tell me how many transactions are reflected in Exhibit 92? You just count them, sir. I don't need the dates or anything.
Okay.
Just how many?
I count 12.
And just for clarity, for Exhibit 92, who is the named renter in those contracts?
Shayana Jenkins?
I'm going to show you Exhibit 93. Ask you the same question, sir. If you would just tell me how many transactions are reflected in Exhibit 93 with Enterprise Rental Car.
I count 14, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Brennan. And the Commonwealth asked you to bring 3. Is that correct? 3 transactions. Records for 3 transactions.
I have here the,
Exhibit 83.
Could he be allowed to
Eight.
answer, Your Honor?
Well, I'd like you to read from the exhibit rather than
Could he-
whatever that is.
The question was put to him. Could he finish his answer?
If you need to look at anything,
well, I have here, please bring with you the records for 3 separate vehicles, but in the paperwork, I have 2 separate rental contracts.
And is that because one of those was a replacement vehicle?
Yes.
Thank you. No further questions, Ron.
Yeah. Sir, you were shown Exhibit 91.
Yes.
Is that right? And you know when the homicide of Owen Lloyd occurred? Do you know the date, sir? When Mr. Lloyd was killed?
My presumption was it was the same night of phone call that I received.
I'm going to object to the question and move to strike the answer as inconsistent with the purpose for the...
Sir, the phone call you received was on what date?
June 17th.
And at that time, this record, number 91, can you see that over there? Showing 91 here.
Okay.
Okay. Just going down to the bottom, I'm going to slide it over. The bottom 3 entries. These records of Aaron Hernandez,
Yes.
and the dates would also be shown on this record. Is that right, the dates of the rentals?
Yep.
I think they're referred to as the dates, the pickup date.
Yes.
Okay. You recognize the pickup dates is June 10, 2013.
Yes, I do.
And prior to that, when was the last time there was a rental, according to your records here, Exhibit 91 by Aaron Hernandez?
I'm going to object, Your Honor. The document speaks for itself.
Can you see that, sir?
Yes, I can.
Okay, the one prior to June 10, what is the date?
I see, I'm sorry, April 10th,
Okay, approximately how much time is that between June 10?
approximately 2 months.
And that vehicle, were those vehicles returned prior to June?
Okay, according to,
Because it says vehicle date out and vehicle date in. Is that right?
yes,
Okay, so those vehicles from April were returned what dates?
the top one looks like 4/15, and then 5/9.
So in June of 2013, did Aaron Hernandez even have those vehicles?
Objection.
objection sustained.
Where do your records reflect those vehicles were?
Objection.
Please repeat that.
Sure. Does anything in here indicate that Aaron Hernandez had that vehicle in June, those last two, the ones that we're talking about here, in June of 2013?
It does not indicate that.
And the vehicles that we're talking about here, is that reflected? The ones that you rented in June?
Yes.
Okay. And what types of vehicles are those?
I see a Chevrolet Suburban, I see a Nissan Altima, and a Chrysler 300.
Okay. And what color is the Chevrolet Suburban?
Black.
What color is the Nissan Altima?
Silver.
What color is the Chrysler 300C?
Gray.
And the license plates for the Suburban?
Looks like 442, 427, and that's from Rhode Island.
How about for the Silver Altima?
536 MX2 out of Massachusetts.
And what about for the Chrysler 300?
451 375 out of Rhode Island.
And sir, do you know if Mr. Hernandez owns any other vehicles?
Objection.
Sustained.
I have nothing further. Thank you, sir.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Mr. Kemp.
The next witness, if we could call Detective Dan O'Riggy, please.
Can I see counsel for a moment, please?
Make this way, sir, please follow me.
Please face the clerk and raise your right hand.
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony about to give to this court in this jury will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you.
Have a seat,
Thank you
sir.
very much.
There you
You
are.
may.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Could you state your full name?
My name is Daniel Riggi,
Spell your last name?
A-R-R-I-G-H-I.
I'm sorry. Where do you work?
North Attleboro Police Department,
And how long have you worked there?
approximately 28 years.
How are you currently assigned?
I am assigned to the Detective Division,
How long have you been in the detective division?
approximately 15 years.
Now, taking you back to June 17, 2013, were you working on that date?
Yes, I was.
At some point in time, were you called to a scene in North Attleboro?
Yes, I was.
And where was the location of the scene?
Collis Landing, 344 John Deach Boulevard.
Approximately what time did you get there?
approximately 5:43 p.m.
And when you arrived there, were there any other officers there
Yes.
before you?
Yes, sir. Captain Dorenzo, Officer Zimmer, Officer Grimm.
Okay.
No,
Where
sir,
did you,
Sorry.
did you meet with them at some point?
Yes, I did.
And where was that?
I had parked my cruiser approximately 200 or 300 yards prior to where the deceased was located. I had walked up into that location, progressed inward to where they were, and I met up with Captain Dorenzo.
Okay. Did you have a conversation with them, just yes or no?
Yes.
And at that time, did you take some action?
Yes, I did.
And just tell us what you did.
Shortly thereafter, upon arriving there, I began taking some photos and made observations of the scene where the deceased was located.
Okay. Was anyone assisting you?
Yes.
And who is that?
Officer John Grimm.
And just describe what the area around the deceased.
The area around the deceased was compacted, dead pan stone, very hard, soil with stones embedded into that particular location.
Okay. Did you notice any items around the body?
Yes.
And what items did you note?
I observed a hat, a Boston Red Sox hat, red in color, approximately 2.5 feet from his head area. He was lying on his back. I observed several spent shell casings around his body to his left side in a semicircle shape. I observed a white towel several feet from the body as well. That would be to the right of his body, away from his foot location.
Okay. And were you taking general photographs of these areas?
Yes.
Now, at some point in time, did you notice a change in the weather?
Yes.
And approximately how long had you been there when you noticed that?
It was shortly thereafter. When I began taking the photos, the weather pattern had changed, and I was also privy to a severe thunderstorm warning effect that was coming our way. So I began taking the photos, and as I was taking the photos, the weather pattern changed from sunny and humid to extremely windy, darkened clouds, and the temperature actually dropped. But it began to get very windy, and you could visibly see the sky changing where it got very, very dark.
Okay. As a result of that, did you have conversation, just yes or no, with other officers?
Yes, I did, sir.
Did you use your phone to have any conversations with anyone off scene?
Off scene. I made some phone calls, but yes.
Okay. And as a result of the weather changing, did you do something?
Yes.
What did you do?
I was instructed to secure the shell casings, the evidence that was at that location, which included the 5 spent shell casings, the hat, the white towel, and there was a blunt that was located to the right of the deceased body, again, close proximity to him. That was also secured.
Okay, when you refer to a blunt, what is that?
Like a tobacco, marijuana, well, it was a rolled-up cigar-type product that was charred on one end.
Okay. And how did you secure these items?
They was placed in a brown paper bags.
Okay. And what did you do with the, which items did you recover?
I recovered the 5 shell casings and the hat and the blunt.
Sir,
May I approach you on?
just going to show you a couple of photographs.
Yes, sir.
Recognize the scene depicted in this photograph?
Yes, I do.
About the second one
Yes, I do.
and the third one.
Yes, sir.
What do you recognize these photos depict?
These photos depict the shell casings, where they were located and where they were photographed by me, which includes also a photo of the blunt as well.
Okay. And do they fairly accurately portray the area where you observed them?
Yes, sir.
And what you've referred to is one of the photos of a blunt?
That is correct.
Okay.
And I'm just showing you this item. Do you recognize it?
Yes, I do.
And what do you recognize that to be?
This is the particular package, the brown paper bag that I placed the blunt in. I tagged it on that particular date, and I made significant markings on that particular bag with regards to that blunt recovery.
At some point, was that bag sent for further testing?
Yes, it was.
And the condition of the item as you seized it, is that changed?
Yes, it has.
Okay. I'd offer this is the next.
I'm sorry, you said the condition changed, could I just see? Well, I object to this, Your Honor. It's not the condition in which he seized it.
We could mark these for the sequence you want, please, and this one is a separate.
Number 4, and number 5.
Sir, you indicated you had, it was a towel that was recovered, is that right?
That's correct.
Just going to show you this item. Just take a look inside there.
Correct.
Recognize this item?
Yes.
And this packaging, you recognize that?
Correct, yes, I do.
How do you recognize it?
That's the bag that, on June 17th, that's the particular bag that I recovered from my cruiser, and that's the bag that I placed the white towel in.
And when you, what did you do with this item? At some point, was this transported from the scene?
Yes,
And who transported it?
I did.
And who did you transport it to?
North Attleboro Police Department.
And what happened at the police department?
That was placed into evidence and tagged at the station.
And is this in substantially the same condition, the towel?
Correct.
As when it was recovered from the scene?
Correct. That was secured by Detective Elliott as well.
Okay. And when, did you observe the recovery of the item?
Yes.
And then it was placed in whose cruiser?
My cruiser. He walked over to my car, and I opened up the trunk and placed it inside the trunk.
I'd offer this as the next exhibit.
No objection.
You mark it 67.
Now, sir, after, how long did you remain on that scene?
Till approximately 8:29.
And at some point, did the weather in fact change?
Yes, it did.
What happened?
At approximately 6:50 p.m., it completely downpoured. It rained heavily.
And what happened, was there any other action taken with regard to the scene?
Yes.
And what was that?
Prior to the arrival of the rain, the downpour, Captain Drenzo had made some phone calls or conversed with the fire department personnel. We were able to obtain some tops. Those particular tops were used to cover some evidence that we observed at the scene, which had covered the deceased, Odin Lloyd. The top was used to cover there and also used to cover tire tracks that we had observed progressing away from that particular location.
Okay. And with regard to the efforts that were made, did you later see the areas that had been covered?
Yes.
And did that protect it from the weather?
Yes, it did.
Now, what type of shoes were you wearing on that date?
I believe GBX dress shoes, loafers.
Okay. And if I could approach Ron, I'm going to show you this photograph. Ask you if you recognize it.
Yes, those are mine.
Okay, were those the shoes you were wearing on June 17th when you were at the scene?
Yes, sir, they are.
Counter offer, this is the next exhibit.
No objection.
Mark is next exhibit.
And sir, you had indicated there was a hat at that scene, is that right?
Yes.
I'm going to show you what's been marked now, exhibit number 5. Sir, you recognize this item?
Yes, I do.
What do you recognize it to be?
That's the particular hat that I had secured on June 17th at the crime scene. That hat was located approximately 2 to 2.5 feet from the victim's head area.
How did you secure it?
Placed it in a brown paper bag that was secure for my cruiser.
Now, sir, with regard to your footwear, did you later take a photograph of your footwear?
Yes.
Did you also take a photograph of anybody else's footwear?
Yes, 88 Pat Baumberg.
Okay, just describe the footwear that he was wearing.
Dress shoes.
And when you say dress shoes,
Business attire, you know, when he arrived at the scene, he was in business attire, you know, suit, tie, said dress shirt. He was wearing, you know, business shoes that I would suggest here.
did you ever see him in sneakers?
Never. No, he didn't. He was not wearing any sneakers. He was
Okay.
dressed professionally.
What about Trooper Benson? Did you observe him?
Yes, I did, sir.
And what type of footwear was he wearing?
Dress shoes as well. He was dressed, again, business-like, you know, dressed professionally when he arrived at the crime scene.
Okay. And did you, with regard to where the body was, did you ever go to an area below the feet of the body?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Outside, other than yourself, did anyone else, did you observe them go to that area?
I believe one certain location, Officer Grimm.
Okay. And what about the towel you said, who recovered that?
Detective Elliott, sir.
Okay. So outside of the three of you, did you ever see anybody else in that area?
No, we had limited anybody walking, you know, beyond where Captain Drenzel was. There were just those particular three that would walk in that particular crime scene area.
Okay. Now, you indicated you had recovered how many shell casings?
5 .45 caliber shell casings.
And in terms of the one furthest from the head was how far?
Furthest from the head, from his left foot, approximately 4 to 5 feet from his foot.
Okay, and how about the one then closest to the head?
Closest to head, I'd say approximately a foot to 2 feet. Again, I hadn't taken measurements. This is just through making my observations and then subsequently photographing it.
Okay. So what was the distance between the furthest one from the feet and the furthest one from the head?
I'd say approximately 10 feet or so.
Okay. And ultimately, did you do something with the shell casings that you had recovered and secured?
Yes.
What did you do?
I secured the shell casings, one that was, again, located where he was laying down to the left of his head. That was secured. To the right of that, in short proximity again, there were 2 shell casings in a depression, a hole type of area. Those were secured and placed in a brown paper bag. And then the third was situated where he was laying down off his left shoulder area, off his shoulder. That was approximately 3.5 feet or so. That particular shell casing was secured. And then lastly, the shell casing that was approximately 4 to 5 feet from his left foot, that was in an upright position. That particular shell casing was also secured and placed in a brown paper bag.
Okay. Ultimately, what did you do with that brown paper bag?
Those silk casings were secured.
How are they secured?
Lieutenant DeMarco assisted me. I was wearing latex gloves at the time when I secured those particular shell casings, and he held the bags as I put them in, and then they were subsequently placed on my cruiser.
Okay, at some point
with Lieutenant DeMarco.
At some point, did you take them from the cruiser?
Yes, I did.
What did you do with them?
They were in the interim, as things are progressing, we had other state police detectives responding to this particular crime scene. A district attorney, troopers.
Yes, Detective, what did ultimately you do? Give them to somebody?
Yes.
Okay, who did you give them to?
The state police from the ballistics, Trooper Edward Reese.
Okay. Now, What time, how long did you remain on that scene?
From approximately 5:43 till 8:29.
And you indicated that during the time you were there, you took some photographs.
Yes, sir.
Did you take photographs of any what appeared to be footwear impressions?
Yes.
And just describe the area you took those.
This particular location was away from the victim's, where he was situated, away from his feet area. I observed if I may, this particular location, when you first walk onto it, had reprocessed asphalt, and then it changed to like a loose gravel type soil. When I was observing the deceased Odin, to the right, and again away from his feet area, I observed what appeared to be fresh tire tracks, and that's what drew my attention. It was a very detailed, visible detail as far as the tire tracks, and I had walked over there and took photographs of that particular tire track area.
Okay. Now, down below the area where the towel is, did you take any photographs of that area?
No, I did not.
You indicated what time did you leave?
Approximately 8:29.
And where did you go from there?
Back to the police station.
And what did you do back at the station?
I recovered the evidence that I had secured on my cruiser and brought it inside and placed into evidence.
Okay. And during the night, were you at the station over the next several hours?
Yes, I was.
Okay. And at some point, did you have any conversation, just yes or no, with any other officers?
Yes.
And as a result of that, did you leave the station?
Yes.
Okay, and approximately what time did you leave?
Approximately 9:40.
And who did you leave with?
I left with Trooper Shervin, Michael Shervin.
And where did you go?
We responded to 22 Ronald C. Meyer Drive, which was the home address of Aaron Hernandez.
Okay, and just tell us what you did when you arrived at that address.
Okay, upon arriving there, approximately 9:40, Trooper Shervin and myself pulled into the driveway. We progressed up the driveway. We then exited the unmarked vehicle. It was a Ford Escape. We then walked to the front area of the dwelling. We rang the doorbell to that particular location, as well as knocked on the door repeatedly, and we made some observations inside the particular front door, which they were large, oversized doors with glass inserts.
Okay. And approximately what time did you arrive there?
9:40.
And when you said you knocked on the door, how long did you knock on the door?
Several minutes.
And did you get any response?
No, we got no response.
In addition to, did you do anything else in addition to knocking on the door?
Ringing the doorbell repeatedly.
Okay. Any response?
No response.
Okay. Now, as a result of getting no response, were you able to look inside through any windows there at the door into
Yes,
the
sir.
home?
Yes.
Did you see any lights on?
Yes, we did.
Okay, what lights were on?
The lights, sir, on the first floor area, in the living room area, or great room. There's also some lighting on the second floor area. In the living room quarters, the great room area, it appeared that we observed like some grocery bags in the counter area. There's some glasses on in front of the couch area. A pillow was on top of the table as well. And the TV, there was a TV situated directly across from the large oversized sofa. The TV was located on this wall here. We observed that the TV was on, but the TV was in a off mode setting. There were two large bars going across the particular TV. So the TV was on, but there's nothing showing on the monitor. It was on in that state, but two large bars were going across it.
Okay. How long did you remain at the front door?
Several minutes.
And did anyone ever respond?
No one responded.
Okay, what did you do from there?
At that time, we progressed to the side of the home. Again, we looked in, there's a attached garage to the left side as we progressed around the front doorway. We made some observations there. We looked inside the garage door area. Then we walked towards the back area.
Okay. And as you worked your way around the house, did you see anybody?
No, we didn't see anyone.
Okay. Did anyone then meet with you at any point?
No.
Okay. How long did you then survey the property from the outside?
Several minutes. We were there for a while. We had our flashlights. We went to the backyard. We were looking in the backyard area. There's a pool, large pool, a cabana. We looked inside the back area, the back quarters. There were windows as well in that location. We looked through. Again, you could see to the great room area. You could see a gym area. And then we progressed to the farther side of the home.
Okay. And on the back of the house, did you see any windows or strike that, any lights on in the upper stories?
I don't recall from on the backside. I'm not sure.
Okay. At some point, did you go to a neighbor's home?
Yes, we did.
Did you have a conversation with him?
Yes.
And who did you identify that person to be?
Joe Judge, he lived at 12 Ronald C. Meyer Drive. We went to his particular home, which is situated directly beside Mr. Hernandez's home.
Okay.
To
And
the left.
when you had a conversation, just without getting into the conversation, after you spoke to him, did you see him do something?
Yes.
What did he do?
He made a phone call for us. He contacted the director of security
Okay.
for the Patriots.
Okay. And as a result of then that interaction, did you then return back to the home of Aaron Hernandez?
Yes.
Okay. And did you get any response?
No, we got no response.
Okay. What did you do at that time?
We returned back to the car, and we got into the car and then backed out of the driveway and sat at the end of the street in front of Mr. Hernandez's home.
Okay. And how long approximately did you sit in front of the house?
I believe about a half hour. We were there from till 10:30.
And at
From
some
9
point...
9:40 till about 10:30.
Okay. So you had been at the home how long in total?
Approximately 45 minutes now.
Okay. And had you had any response from anyone inside the home?
We had no response whatsoever.
And at around 10:30, did something happen?
Yes.
What happened?
We were both seated in the car. Trooper Sherman was contacting the station, speaking to his superior officers, at the time Sergeant Baker, I believe Lieutenant King, and apprising him of what was transpiring at the house.
Objection sustained.
Okay. Not what was said, but did you see him on the phone?
Yes, Trooper Sherman.
Did you also use your phone at any time?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I contacted
And-
my superior officer as well.
Okay. But as a result of, at around 10:30, did you see somebody come out of the home?
Yes, I did.
And who did you observe?
I observed Aaron Hernandez come from the front door. He exited the front door and began walking towards, coming off the front walkway and progressing towards the driveway.
Okay. When you say Aaron Hernandez, do you see him in the courtroom today?
Yes, I do.
Could you just describe what he's wearing and point him out?
This gentleman see with a navy blue blazer, light shirt and tie, see next to Attorney Rankin.
Your Honor, if the record can reflect the witness identifying the defendant.
Nay.
Now, when you saw him come out of the house and go to the driveway, what did you and Trooper Shervin do?
At that time, I had stepped out from the cruiser. I was seated in the passenger side seat. I walked up and met Mr. Hernandez in the middle area of his driveway.
Okay. Did you introduce yourself?
Yes, I did. I introduced myself, identified myself, and at that time, I actually shook his hand as well.
Okay. When you say you identified yourself, how did you identify yourself?
I informed him I was a detective from the North Attleboro Police Department. I stated my name to him, and then gestured and shook his hand.
Okay. And was Trooper Shervin also introduced?
Yes, he was.
And just tell us what happened at that time.
At that time, we were inquiring about a particular vehicle that Aaron had rented.
Okay. Well, prior to that, do you recall when you were introduced, did the defendant say anything?
Yes, he did.
What did he say?
Mr. Hernandez informed both myself and Trooper Shervin that he had been monitoring us on his home surveillance from his master bedroom, and he observed us walking on his property in the backyard.
Okay. Was there any conversation about why he had not come down?
No.
Okay. After that, after he said that, what was the next thing that was discussed?
At that time, myself and Trooper Shervin, inquired about a rental vehicle. We inquired about the location of that particular rental vehicle, a 2013 Chevy Suburban.
Okay. And did he respond to that?
Yes, he did.
Okay. What did he say?
We had asked about it, and we asked if it was stolen. He shook his head, stated, "No, my boy O has it."
I'm sorry, he said.
He shook his head. We asked if it was, in fact, stolen. He informed us, he shook his head and said no, and he informed us that his boy O has it. We asked Mr. Hernandez who O was. He informed Odin, his girlfriend's sister's boyfriend. I apologize.
And did he indicate anything further about where this vehicle came from?
He informed us that he had rented that particular 2013 Chevy Suburban from Enterprise Rent-A-Car, which is located in North Attleboro on Route 1.
And did you have a further conversation about with the defendant about when he had last seen O or Odin?
Yes, we inquired. The last time he had saw Odin, he informed us that he was up his way yesterday. We then inquired, where does Odin live? He paused and stated, I have the address of my GPS inside.
Okay.
We're going to stop at this point. Recess for lunch. Please keep your minds suspended. Don't discuss the case among yourselves with anyone else. We'll resume at 2 o'clock.
Thank you, Ron.